Alright, so since the last time I streamed this, I've put in a fair bit of practice on, well, pretty much everything with a focus on the boss fights, so translate into some nice time savings. Yes, it is indeed time to get comfy. This is I like to say this is one of the most gorgeous looking and sounding games on the PlayStation 1. Not really. I'm running the original PS1 version just because it's more convenient for me to capture and stream retro stuff than HD stuff. The remake's a few minutes faster because of loading times. If I enjoy running Legend of Mana enough, I'll probably get the PC version of the remake eventually and do some runs of that. Right now I just have the remake on PS4, which I don't really have a good streaming setup for. Expecting there to be another foot there to get to the... Yeah, there's a couple tracks that I like the original versions of better, basically most of the boss themes, but pretty much everything else I think sounds better in the... Hey, Birdman? Hey, Shintagi Mansuri. Yeah, I've been a fan of the Mana series ever since played Secret of Mana as a kid on the SNES. This game is actually pretty different from pretty much all of the other Mana games as far as being kind of a lot more like Octopath Traveler as far as doing a little more open world style rather than following traditional linear storyline. Hey, Mercurius. The art style for this game is really unique too. Oops. Very kind of storybook, dreamy like. Like the rest of the games I think have kind of this fantastic cartoonish art style too, but this one kind of kicks it up a notch. Extends not just to the sprite work, but also to the backgrounds. Yeah, that's part of why I wanted to learn the speedrun for Legend of Mana too, is to challenge myself a bit more, because this is a very, very easy game casually. Hey, dining evening, sir. Yeah, agreed, Minnie. Something, the things I've learned from for the past week too is that you can move your hand cursor while the overworld is still loading. You can't put your hand on the artifact wheel for a little bit, so it's a little more optimal to move your hand to want to place an artifact and then drop it down once the game lets you. Yeah, there's a lot of cool micro optimization. This kind of weird looking running tech I'm doing is part of that too. Alternating diagonal inputs as you move slightly faster. The spin attack is more technical than it looks too, because there's a range, kind of a distance you need to be from the enemies in order just to hit them, but not dizzy yourself. Hey, Flana. My pleasure. Welcome aboard. There's no real skips in this game. It's speedrun is just kind of optimizing the routing and combat, and then taking advantage of some exploits with the battle system to get away with not leveling up very much. I'm not familiar with Rocket League. Hey, Rotorstar, okay, new little micro optimization I learned for the start of the Mantis Ant fight is just to run up and down start of the screen, and that actually makes Niccolo follow you into the cutscene faster than if you just run straight into it. Optimally, you kill Mantis Ant before he does any special attacks, but how did that coin get all the way over there? It's new. Yeah, I really love PS1 games that do 2D sprite work, like this Mega Man X4 through 6. Final Fantasy Tactics. Holds up very well compared to 3D PS1 games. Yeah, Breath of Fire 3 and 4. I have not played Breath of Fire 3 in full yet, but Breath of Fire 4 is my favorite of the series. The sprite work and face portraits are a big part of that. Thanks, pray for us all. This quest here is mostly cutscenes, unfortunately. It's largely about setting up the Jumi storyline, which is one of the other two storylines that I'm not doing as part of this category. Yeah, Death Heaven is the final boss for Breath of Fire 2. I don't think I've ever actually beaten Breath of Fire 2 without some form of cheating, too. If I ever go back and try to beat it legitimately, it's definitely going to be with the awesome retranslation hack. I like to say Breath of Fire 2 I consider to be the worst translated RPG on the Super Nintendo, and there's a really nice retranslation hack that problems it has. Now, some games it's part of the charm, like Robotrek, I like to say is my favorite example of a game where the poor quality English translation enhances the experience, but wouldn't really say the same for Breath of Fire 2. Breath of Fire 1, I would say, yeah, that has a little more charm as far as the really kind of crude English localization. Yeah, Wild Arms 2 is rough too. I'd say that's a fair assessment. I mean, all the Breath of Fire games I've played, there's some definite pacing issues kind of in the middle. Yes, I did play Breath of Fire 5 Dragon Quarter. I think it's a pretty underrated game. I mean, there's some legitimate reasons to not like it, I'd say, because it's just very, very different from the rest of the series. But I think I appreciate that it kind of tries to be something very original and unique as far as being a survival RPG. Got like really severe limits on like item capacity and even your time for finishing the game too. Oh yeah, I mean all the Breath of Fire games have great soundtracks, but the power plant theme in Breath of Fire 5 is mwah, good. Yeah, it's unfortunate that just retro games in general are getting expensive because of scarcity factors and price gouging and stuff. Yeah, that is one thing I definitely liked about Breath of Fire 4 was the kind of use of very different musical styles to separate the two, kind of the east and the west realms of the world. Something I do very much still need work on with this game, though, is the regular encounters. Yeah, just winning them efficiently. Yeah. They don't really have like a good handle yet on like how many, like what techniques to use on each encounter, how many hits each monster takes. 'Cause I had it in my head that the slimes in that last fight were 2 hits, but they're actually 3. And if I need 3 hits, there's a different technique I should use for it, which is a power cancel and do a jump cancel. There's no randomness with the normal encounters. They're all in the same spot, and it's always the same enemy sets. For this category, at least, the main source of RNG is the boss fights, as far as like what exactly they do, how often they use special attacks that make them invincible. Hey, Delicious, thank you, thank you. This place is horrible casually. I remember being lost here for like 2 hours or so when I played the remaster, but You actually know where you're going. It's a fairly quick dungeon. Hey, Manix, thank you, thank you. This would be why this dungeon is pretty rough casually, because there's two of these gates where you have to talk to flowerlings in order to open and close them, but you can't open all of them at the same time. You have to keep coming back and forth to change which gates are opened. Opportunities to get trolled by NPCs blocking my path to it. Okay, that time it was night. Keep getting thrown off by those different colored blocks near the stairs, as far as not really thinking they're valid. Suplexed by a mummy monkey or not. Let's find out sure. Answer is yes. Oh, Spiral Club. Sadly, I could save a little time on this boss, but I have not practiced using claw weapons at all yet, so I'm just sword. Maybe set up a save state or something later for actually practicing with the Spiral Claw if I get it. Hey, ready out. Combo like 3 times, but didn't get punished too hard at least. Yes, that's a That's a power attack that I'm canceling the recovery animation for by hitting L1, which I have no special attack mapped to. It's a fairly major exploit of the battle system to be able to cancel your power attacks. Like, there's kind of two main ways to do it. That's one of them. The other one is using the jump attack. Another game mechanic we're taking advantage of here is what's called land levels. Basically, the farther away from your house a place a artifact, the stronger the enemies and bosses there are, but also the better items that you can get from shops. So we're taking advantage of that here in order to be able to get silver weapons. Moving on to the next dungeon. Hey, RPG chick, thank you. Hey, Wells. Well, it's supposed to be Laurent Sword, named after an area from Seiken Densetsu 3, now known as Trials of Mana. No version of that game had been officially localized as of 1999, I think, when this game came out. They called it Laurent instead of Laurent. But Laurent was called Rolante in the fan translation for Seiken Densetsu 3. Yeah, I do really like the design for the NPCs in this game, as well as giving them all pretty unique looks, and reusing a lot of them across different quests and stuff too. This is basically this is a standalone game as far as I know. It's kind of meant to kind of fully have its own lore and world fully enclosed. Like, the Japanese name for this game is Seiken Densetsu Legend of Mana, which I think is kind of meant to imply that it's a side game, since they called it that instead of Seiken Densetsu 4. But I'd say that's kind of, I mean, the Mana series is a lot, I would kind of call a lot like like Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest, though, where there aren't really a lot of direct connections between games, even though they share a lot of similarities, like the 8 mana spirits, the mana tree, the sword of mana. We're going into an area we're not supposed to go into yet until a later quest that gets us kicked back to the entrance. Some fast travel. Yeah, Dragon Quest Swords is very, very much a spin-off. I saw High Spirits playing that last year. As far as the Dragon Quest series, I usually recommend Dragon Quest 4 and 5, the DS remakes, as good entry points into the series. Missed the comfy looking zombie. I always think the zombies in this game look like they're wearing bathrobes. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, the fact that the Dragon Quest series has a lot of elements, not just of like the visual style, but of the gameplay, like how menus work and that sort of thing, that's been unchanged since the 80s. I think is really endearing. Like the first Dragon Quest was the first RPG I ever played. NES. Some work on as far as positioning. Yeah, this whole game is sour please. Oh, nice. I don't think I've ever actually beaten Willow. I know I played it at a friend's house a bit as a kid, but I don't think I ever beat it. Still saved a little bit of time here. How long this cutscene is, though. Well, looks like the gold train is finally coming to an end. Probably mostly thanks to Ducate getting a special attack off. Maybe my menuing wasn't too crisp either. Got menu and then equipment. Oh yeah, Wells, I finished that collection last week, like actually 2 weekends ago, I think. It's very much a day one purchase for me. I didn't actually start playing it for a couple weeks, but yeah. I love me some good 2D Castlevania. Yeah, there isn't really any tech for tech smashing, other than just knowing when the triggers for advancing conversations come up. This is one of those games where the there's lots of natural kind of pauses and conversations where pressing the button doesn't do anything. Yeah, that was actually my first time ever playing Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance. I mean, I went in kind of just knowing that a lot of people consider it to be the weakest Game Boy Advance Castlevania, but I tried to go in with a relatively open mind, and I enjoyed it for what it was. I mean, I agree that Circle of the Moon and Aria of Sorrow are a bit better, but Harmony of Dissonance was kind of fine too, just as kind of as blatant of a Symphony of the Night imitation as it was at times too. I've seen Bowie the Hero run that a few times. I've not played it myself though. That's a shame. I thought Circle of the Moon has some rough spots because it's the first Castlevania on the platform, but it's a pretty solid entry. It's hard, but hard in a mostly rewarding way. I was still mashing X when the fight started, and that buffered some regular attacks, which kind of threw off the start. Hey, SR Wolfers, welcome in. Oh, thanks. Yeah. It takes me a little bit. It takes me a little bit of time to kind of get re-warmed up on power cancel and jump cancel timing when I switch back and forth between emulator and console. But I feel like I'm getting a decent grip on it. Hey, Corey Agenda. Okay. Telling RPG Trick the other day that I think a lot of that comes from the fact that I've been playing drums and percussion instruments since I was in 4th grade. speedrun tech that's just kind of very rhythmic in nature. Comes decently naturally to me. Practice, of course. Ah, cool. Yeah, I don't play as much as I used to, but there is a community band in my area that I play percussion for during the summer, May through July. Best off my percussion. Do a nice little fast travel shortcut here to go directly to the boss. This is one of the more obnoxious bosses in the Faerie storyline. You'll almost certainly be seeing why shortly too. Likes to make itself invincible and likes to use this dodge attack where it gets 3 illusions. It's actually a technique you can get, but it's not useful for speedrunning, so we don't. Double. Nice. That's pretty good, actually, just for my standards. Something I put a fair bit of practice, well, something I put some practice into, I still need some more. Earlier today was trying to time using special techniques to hit bosses right as they come out of iframes. That one and Boreal Hound in particular, because if you can actually hit with cutting bamboo, it makes a really big difference, because you do like half a bar of damage and then stun them, so you can kind of unleash the beast. Like another full half bar before they recover. No, the percentage damage meter is exclusive to Secret of Mana. I don't think any other Mana games have that mechanic. The way this game primarily tries to kind of prevent you from spamming your stronger attacks is via cooldown animations, but there's multiple ways to cancel those animations, which is what I was doing on that fight. There's what's called power canceling, which is where you use an unmapped special attack button, and then jump canceling, which is where you use the jump special attack. It's situational, which is more useful for specific fights. Yeah, this is only my third full run attempt, at least on PS2. It's definitely still at the stage where getting golds isn't too difficult. Just for perspective, a pretty solid time at this category, I would say, is sub 150. Records at 143. Oh yeah, I bet. That's where Spriggan and Boreal Hound just stop caring about your feelings in any way. Probably should have saved this for the next one. I think the next fight is the one that has the Chopin hood in it. It's more health. I forgot to re-equip my spin attack. Just to re-equip that before or when I re-entered the jungle after I had Counter-Strike already. Hey, Greffer, evening, Siri. Having kind of the success or failure of your run being largely determined by boss fights is something I'm very much okay with. Dragon storyline, which is the fastest category, the main route for it has a lot of RNG with weapon drops. Sounds a lot less fun. Come on, hit the thing. Hey, Kansas City, appreciate it. Go down around the petrified penguin. Somewhat more reliable stun lock on that yak. Faster kill yet. This next cutscene coming up always reminds me of Super Mario RPG as far as your character some kind of cartoonish gestures to get around the fact that he or she doesn't talk. Well, outside of the ending of the Jumi storyline. So this next boss coming up after this cutscene is kind of a neat, unique strategy to it too, where if you if you use either of the means of power attack canceling, that's pretty inconsistent because it's a teleporter and it will teleport out from under you, but if you use kind of shorter two-hit combos with your regular attack, that's a lot more effective at lockdown. It's got a sliver of health left too. It's all on me though. I need some more work on getting the two-hit rhythm on console. It's just unfortunate that practicing this boss fight on console isn't terribly convenient because there's that cutscene before it. Started to kind of compare this place to Lindblom in Final Fantasy IX. Whereas all the times that you come here in speedruns, it's just mostly cutscenes and text mashing, but there's just very slight differences here and there with the story triggers. Hey, APX. So we're still in the easy to farm gold splits portion of my Legend of Mana speedrunning career. Hey, D7. At this point, I'd say I need more luck with my two-hit short combos, because I just bungled Organ's Eye pretty badly by not having the mashing rhythm down for console. We'll get there, though. Have to wait while not standing on the route for this Faerie loop here. Happy preemptive birthday. My PB has a death on the boss here, which is, to be fair, this is probably the most difficult boss in the run for the storyline. A lot of time to be saved here. This turns me around when it hits me too. I got into RPGs as a kid, yeah. I got a free copy of the first Dragon Quest, then Dragon Warrior game for subscribing to Nintendo Power when I was 10, I want to say. And it was just totally mind-blowing to play an NES game that took me a lot more than a weekend to beat. The audio sounds fine to me through my headphones. Haven't heard anybody else anything, so it's not on my end. The audio sounding good is very important, by the way, given how awesome this game's soundtrack is. So if there is actually an audio problem, I would very much like to fix it. Yeah, I didn't really ever get to own a lot of NES or SNES games as a kid. I would usually only get one new game a year, roughly, for my birthday or Christmas. So that was another part of what got me into RPGs, was wanting to get games that I'd get a lot of playtime out of. Look into the Counter-Strike tech for Mr. Yak, too. Yeah, I rented, I mean, a lot of my early game rentals were actually from a mom-and-pop shop in my area called Video Max. But then Blockbuster came afterwards. Probably be able to rent a game for a full weekend for like for $4 or so. Hey, counterfeit suit. I think I've heard a video update, yeah. Hollywood Video was also a thing where I grew up in Wisconsin. When I think about Mr. Movies, I think about Mr. Video from Spaceballs. I'm glad that that got reborn as Mr. DVD for the DVD edition. Wasting no time. Probably gonna go up to. All right, well, that was almost a disgustingly good Boreal Hound fight until I mistimed my second ST, but I will still take that. Yeah, this should be a pretty, well, I don't know about a gold actually, but certainly a pretty nice time savings over my PB where I died. Yeah, because I've grown to underestimate just how long this cutscene is after Boreal Hound for the end. Yeah, that's why I really wanted to try to get the timing down for actually hitting Boreal Hound with STs when it comes out of iframes, because being able to land that relatively consistently makes a lot of the RNG go away, because you get a guaranteed half bar of damage and then another half bar roughly from just hitting it with more power cancels afterwards. A lot of my good practice fights, I would only see like one, maybe two special attacks. Right, nice. Getting where the mines are. Bear blocked me. Full lamp for you. It's kind of an awkward fight because of the map layout. If though. Pretty strange boss where you don't really fight it directly, you fight its tentacles. Explode. It's faster to actually kill them, but I have the timing down if you're actually doing that yet, so at least for now I'm just tapping them and then letting them explode. Hey, Rushika. Yeah, it's a pretty, it's a very friendly run for getting into, that's for sure. Getting a very good time is another story completely, but just learning the route and runs is pretty friendly. Not that one. You have to say this is probably my favorite version of Watts in the Mana series. Watts is kind of like Sid from Final Fantasy, and that he's in basically every Mana game in some capacity. Like the very kind of childlike depiction of Watts in this game. Yeah, I can definitely see that. His hat bounces off his head when he's walking. Kind of reminds me, honestly, of like Disney cartoons. Like old school Disney cartoons. So casually, this is kind of a neat quest where you get a lot of interesting lore about the Faerie storyline. But speedrun, we actually fail it intentionally to save a bunch of time. We do not make the Doom Hammer, or as I like to call it, the Killer Croquet Mallet in this category. Sadly, that's we don't fight. Oh, dang it, we don't fight enough stuff for it to really pay for the time spent making a weapon in a single storyline run, and in all stories run or in all quests run. That's a different story, though. And if anybody hasn't seen a all storylines run of this game yet, you're actually in luck, because there's going to be a race of all storylines on the HD remaster by the RPG Chick and Mecha Link at an online marathon called Questing for Glory next week. Get when the exact run is, but if anybody knows, feel free to educate us. I'm not running anything for Questing for Glory this time, but I'll be doing commentary for the Chrono Trigger run. It's the finale. It's going to be a run on the PC version with, I believe, with an incentive for PC exclusive, well, not exclusive, but PC and DS exclusive post-game stuff. The Dream Devourers Superbots. Who else? Friday night, cool. Definitely be watching that. Questing for Glory is always a good time. Alright, did not pick the wrong choice this time. Alright, just saved a bunch of time on dialogue. Dana will always ST right at the start of the fight. That was very slow. Still saving time because of not picking the wrong dialogue choice before the fight, though. Yeah, fingers, toes, and other random digits crossed that we'll be able to bring back RPG Limit Break next May. This is our last time coming back here. This is where we learn that an ancient dragon named Leucemia almost destroyed the world, but then swallowed a volcano. I love the I love the lore that it's not that like an ancient hero put an end to leukemia or something like that. It's just that leukemia romped on a volcano and died. Hey Rocco, thank you very much for the raid. Thanks for the luck as well. That's the artifact for the final Faerie storyline quest, but we're not actually going to be doing it quite yet. Hey, Drowned Wolf. Sometimes you just gotta catch that fly. Oh, nice, yeah. Practice I've been putting into the combat has definitely been paying off. Hey, Palmer, evening, Siri. Yeah, we get the Wiggletron going for the movement. Wiggling like that slightly speeds up movement, which definitely adds up over to the shadow. Hey, Hat's Face, thank you. How do I feel about the remake? Remake's awesome. I'm speedrunning the original version just because it's more convenient for me to capture and stream from a PS2 than from an HD console, but if anybody wants to play this game 2021 and beyond, I recommend playing the HD remake. Yeah, run's going decently. Still making mistakes and stuff, but this is definitely paying off. Yeah, soundtrack is so good. It's by Yoko Shimomura. It's kind of best known for the Kingdom Hearts series and the Mario and Luigi RPG series. Did a number of standalone games too, like Parasite Eve. This game. Well, I guess the games aren't standalone, but her involvement in their franchise was. Yeah, I did. I didn't die to Boreal Hound, and I almost had a disgustingly good fight that right, I lost a bit of time because of dropping my combo at a bad spot, but still pretty respectable segment. Dolls on the in the junkyard always remind me of Gino from Super Mario. That was a crystal that I couldn't see behind the background. Dragged out the end of that fight a bit. Speaking Speaking of Parasite Eve too, this boss theme reminds me a lot of the Parasite Eve boss theme. I think it sounds even more like Plosive Attack, the PE boss theme in this. That time savings is probably mostly from movement, because that wasn't really that clean of a boss fight. Hey, Nacho! That's in the FF5 time. Check my notes sometimes for these land placements, because I think you want. There's a couple places where putting a land in the wrong place would be a very big problem. Like here, because if I put this town in the wrong place, I wouldn't be able to get gold weapons. Despite being called Faerie's Light, this quest is unrelated to the Faerie storyline, and I think it has a different name in the HD version because of that. Spirit's Light, okay. I can see why, though, just to make it abundantly clear that this is not connected to the Faerie storyline. Still doing this a couple times too. I'm remembering what direction to hold coming off of the screen transition and then just some loading. You don't want to see Gak though, that would mean stop. Now the rest is just tech smash. That wasn't clear to me until playing the HD version too, is that Monique is a siren. I didn't really pick up on that until seeing her sprite in Bloody. As soon as we're done here, we're gonna actually finish the Faerie storyline. In order to beat the game, you have to finish one of the 3 main storylines and place 18 artifacts on the overworld. Both of which we will have accomplished after finishing Heaven's Gate. This next dungeon is my favorite parts of the whole soundtrack, too. Find it. I've never actually played Crystal Chronicles, but I've seen it, and I can kind of see some similarities in the art style. Well, I assume we're talking about the good Crystal Chronicles, and not the one that's banned from YouTube. I'm not kidding, by the way, too. Videos of the second Crystal Chronicles game are blacklisted from YouTube by Square Enix. I was making that up. I don't know why. I mean, the joke is just that Square Enix is trying to memory hole the game, but surprise me if there's some legal reason. Nice. See my visual cue for that skip. Got that one pretty fast too. That's technically a soft lock situation I just got into with two zones that overlap each other slightly, but can actually clip through the stack to just end up skipping the second fight there. Hey, Macho Man. I appreciate it. Happy to hear. I do wish this game had more like encounter skips and it's kind of skips period. That's pretty much all we get is in this area. Hey, Blue Valentine, welcome in. That one has a much easier setup than the first Zelda skip. Yeah, in the remake you can just shut down random encounters completely, which is very nice for exploration and backtracking. Yeah. Secret of Mana's Nest totally wasn't programmed by a guy named Nasir Gabelli, who totally didn't make games like Final Fantasy 1 through 3 that are amazingly bug-free games. Hey, Veneris, welcome in. Yeah, there's a lot of subtleties, subtle impact on the game from the land placements. It's part of why trying to get 100% in this game blind is very difficult. You can finish all the mains, you can always finish all 3 main storylines and then the game, but doing all 68 quests without a guide is rough. Irwin, the final boss of the Faerie storyline, can be pretty easy if I get a good power cancel mash going. Not mash, rhythm. That is not good rhythm. Off, starting. Now he's gonna do 2 for 1. Well. Plenty of just want to make sure I can save some time here on the next run. Punishing me quite hard for not getting the quick kill set up. Got a very wonky hitbox too. Come on. Probably gonna lose time here now too, despite getting great seamless skips. Definitely reinforcing that I do need to practice some recovery strats for this win if I miss the quick kill. Okay. Yeah, I guess I need to maybe I just need to lab this fight out and just understand where his hitbox is better. Because if you get the quick kill, it just doesn't matter. You just wait for him to come to you and then start a power cancel chain and then you win. So probably not going to gold here, but definitely still going to be on PB pace by a lot. But after finishing a main storyline, one of your rewards is getting about 5 minutes of unskippable cutscenes. With good music, though. And it's nice to get a little break. Yeah, in practice, at least, the quick kill feels like it's relatively consistent if you play well, as far as timing the first hit and then keeping the combo going. Yeah, when FF1 came out, it was pretty much just Dragon Quest 1 through 3, I think, had come out, at least in Japan at the time, that had concept of hit points. Yeah. It's always felt a little odd to me that this is called the Faerie storyline when fairies are not really the core of the story at all. It's basically it's kind of a story of forbidden love between a priestess and a demon. Fairies just kind of are just tertiary as far as being Followers of Irwin or something like that. The demon. It's good. I'll have to pass on like deciding a top Square soundtrack, but this is certainly one of the top ones. Really nice how the three storylines all kind of have their own musical theme that plays into the cutscenes, the final dungeon, the final boss fight, and then the post-final boss cutscene. Yeah, I remember renting this game shortly after it came out and not really getting super far. And I bought a copy, I think 2006, I want to say. I just remember the year because I'm looking for games to play to tide me over while waiting for Kingdom Hearts 2 to come out in English, and that's what this was it. Oh, you should. I mean, you should go for it. I mean, this game is amazing as far as just kind of just getting engrossed in the world. As far as the background artwork, the sprite work, the flavor of all of the areas and stuff. I mean, it's not really a game. It's not really a kind of a game where like the main storyline and cutscenes and stuff are amazing, but it's just like I said, as far as just kind of getting wrapped up in the world and the amazing soundtrack and stuff, it's a pretty fun time. Hey, Rain, evening, sir. I'm actually going to gain time on my PB here, despite that horrible Irwin fight. I guess I am. I think we're pretty much done with the dialogue here. All right, well, guess we've got quote-unquote free time savings there for next time, probably in the neighborhood of like 2 minutes. Alright, so now that we've finished one of the main storylines and placed 18 artifacts on the map, now we can actually beat the game. Hey Jeff, evening sir. Yes, never want to PB by too much. So I'm going home, immediately leaving and coming back and just doing some kind of goofy looking actions here just to trigger the end game, basically. After this run's over too, gonna do another one too. This is a short enough run that doing multiple runs a stream is possible. Yeah, sadly we don't get to see my favorite cactus sprite, though, which is the cactus being stuffed in your mailbox, which is part of a optional quest. Kind of ducking in and out here just to skip a bunch of dialogue. I guess we're not. Hey, Tempest, thank you, thank you. Switching out for a croquet mallet. Actually, one-shot these units. Potos, that's right. Blanking on the official name for these lizards. Did that short quest to get the Sword of Mana, which unlocks the final area and final boss. I love the, like most of the rest of the game, the kind of look and feel of the mana tree. Not the biggest fan of the final boss, though. It feels kind of incomplete to me. You compare it to both other boss fights from this game and also from previous Mana series games too. At least, I would say at least one more form. When you compare the Mana Goddess to like the final bosses of SD3 or even the Mana Beast from Secret of Mana, it just feels very underwhelming, especially for PS1 game. Hey, Corporate Image, thank you very much for the raid. Luck as well. Wrapping up a Legend of Mana run here, but as soon as this is over, we'll be starting up another one. That's where it lets me. Hope your stream went well, Corporate. Yes, the remake is very good. There's some things I think could have been better about it, but there's really nothing that I would say is worse than the original. I'm speedrunning on the original version just because it's more convenient for me to capture from a PS2 than from a modern console, but as far as just playing this game 2021 and beyond, I definitely recommend the HD remaster. Thanks, Amazurubu. Ooh. I'd have to pack my PS TV to have a Legend of Mana throwdown at the next limit break. Of course, that's assuming somebody can be coaxed away from SMZ3 multi-world. Have to basically a 3x3 grid, and I have to do the fights at the four corners of the grid in order to get to the final boss fight. Be a 155 barring any shenanigans with the mana guys. How did that miss? Yeah. Nice. 155. Practice since last weekend paying off. Love a ways to go though. Not just on the Irwin fight, which was probably the biggest part, but just on the regular combat. Hey, robot. Zero, come in. Watch the ending here and start up anew. GG's and turns of it. Definitely a fun speed game too, I'm finding. Obvious it is from just watching, but a lot of the fights have big tech to them as far as taking down the and using their champ special attacks. Yeah, agreed, corporate image. I'd like to say this is one of the best looking and sounding games on the PS1. The song is in Swedish, by the way. Bummer there's no subtitles for it here. Yes, hey, high spirits. Looks like a certain aquatic since we got a little lull in the action. Some promotion for Questing for Glory, Hope and Healing 2, which is starting tomorrow. Did you get it? Good run. Money for not. There's going to be a race of this game between RPG Chick and Mecha Link. It looks like 7:25 p.m. my time on 8:25 Eastern time. Not running anything for Questing for Glory this time, but I am going to be doing commentary for the 100% PC run on Sunday. Probably not going to be streaming next weekend because of that, but we'll see. Even though the run's scheduled to end around when I usually start streaming after talking for almost 6 hours, I'm probably just going to feel taking it easy. I like how these credits have the Ringland credits in them, even though that was cut out from our version of Legend of Mana. That's in the remaster, though. It's gonna be on the RPG Limit Break channel. And the actual race is gonna be on next Friday, 8:25 Eastern. It's gonna be an all storylines race too. Like this Faerie storyline run I'm doing right now is only, I would say, only about a quarter of the full game. There's 2 more main storylines, the Dragon and Jumi, and then there's a lot of side quests that are unrelated to them. Structurally, I like to compare this game more to Octopath Traveler than to like other Mana games or most other Square RPGs, as far as being very open world and freeform. Hey, Fossil Left. Well, you're just in luck. I'm actually going to be starting another run once we're past the credits here. Short enough run by my standards that doing 2 runs in one stream is very much possible. Yeah, well, fortunately I do still have a pretty whopping time savings to get on Irwin. I messed up the quick kill and then didn't really know how to recover it at all, which is something I still need practice on. So I feel like I've probably got like 2 minutes just to save on Irwin alone. But yeah, this is definitely the last like monster PB that I'll be getting for this category. Yep, another run of this momentarily. Yeah, this is just looking back, as far as where somewhat significant time savings are out there. I would say the Ducate fight, Organai fight. Definitely could get a bit more off Boreal Hound, although this PB is a pretty good fight overall. Had a rough Dana fight. And then, yeah, and I lost like 2 minutes on Irwin. And I know I just have lots and lots of little time savings on regular combat too. Just the regular encounters is something I just still need a lot of work on. If I want to push for sub 150, I'll definitely need a fair bit of work on the normal combat to have a chance. Notice a chance too, because the bosses need to cooperate too to get a sub 150. Alright, let's see what the game time is, then we'll start again. The in-game time is usually about 10 minutes more than the RTA time. $2:05 minutes.